What's going on, guys? And today we're going to be talking about The Walking Dead, A New Frontier. That's right, this is Season 3, essentially, of TellTale's critically acclaimed The Walking Dead series based off the comic books. And I've played Season 1, 2, and 3. 3 I just finished, which is why I'm doing this review. Now, what did I think about A New Frontier? Now, essentially, if you guys have followed the game through all the seasons so far, you know in Seasons 1 and 2, you predominantly focused on the story of Clementine, trying to basically find safety in this world, from being discovered as a little girl in her abandoned city, which I forgot what it was, by a guy named Lee, to pretty much this point in the game. Now, the interesting thing about The Walking Dead: A New Frontier is essentially you have a new main character. His name's Javier Garcia, and he's out with his family trying to find safety. However, Clementine is still in the game, and it's almost like you have a branching storyline going on, and it makes the game very interesting. Throughout the game, one of the cool things about it is you get flashbacks of what happened to the other characters, like Kenny, if you saved him in The Walking Dead of Season 2, and pretty much you learn a lot about Javier's life as to why he is in the position he's in, why he has such tension with his brother, what happened to his family, and it's a very interesting story arc. The game itself is divided up into 5 episodes like all the other Telltale games are, and overall, I would say the story is fine. To me, Season 1 is still my favorite season of the game because I just felt like it was more action-based, it was more interesting, it was a little more gruesome, whereas this, in A New Frontier, kind of brings it together in a way where it teaches you a lot about working together instead of the violence aspect of the game. So in that aspect, it adds a whole different dynamic, you have a whole different set of characters, and in a mature manner as to the game being actually deep psychologically, as to, you know, things you do, decisions you make, the game holds up pretty well, actually. As I mentioned, this isn't my favorite one in the series, but I do like how Telltale has gone about continuing the story with introducing a new main protagonist, but at the same time continuing Clementine's story as you see her grow up and mature, find out what happened to all the people that were involved with her, as I mentioned, and pretty much as you guys work together in this game, she still has her ideal motive, her quest in the end, which kind of gets explained at the end of the story as to where she's going to go and what's going to happen in the future. Now, I thought this was going to be the series finale of this game. However, kind of, sort of, spoilers alert, the end of the game does say that Clementine's story will continue. So, it looks like in the future we're going to be getting The Walking Dead Season 4, which is kind of cool because this is, from my understanding, Telltale's highest rated series, and why would they not want to continue with the success of the story, especially if there's more of a story to tell? The game itself looks fantastic, the voice acting is great, the QuickTime events are a little more in-depth and a little more different than they have been in the previous series, seasons, I mean, but that makes the game all that more interesting, and you actually, at certain points, you don't know when an event's going to pop up, where in the past it kind of seemed predictable, so you kind of always need to keep your hand on the controller so you don't screw something up. I screwed a few things up, that I didn't want to screw up, actually, but the game itself is definitely recommended. I picked this one up on Black Friday for $15 at GameStop, and looking back, it's about a 7, 8, 9-hour game, depending how you play, and you get to import your save data from the previous game, so that's the one thing that's cool. I was able to import my Season 2 data, and pretty much it affects how the story plays out, things you learn, and I guess certain aspects of the game that you wouldn't have seen had you not imported that save data. Now, I'm not completely positive about that because I didn't play the game without importing my save data. But if you guys can answer that question, what happens if you don't? What are the actual differences? Leave that in the comments below, as opposed to like fresh start versus using your previous game. Now, this game, like I said, I do recommend it. But if you were a fan of Season 1 like I was, you might not really get into this game as much. I think I do prefer this game over Season 2. Season 2 was great, don't get me wrong. but season 2 kind of killed what season 1 was in a weird way. Like, it worked, but it didn't to me, and that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but guys, that's my review of The Walking Dead: A New Frontier. If you guys are looking for a game that's more of an interactive movie, check out this game, and for that matter, a lot of the TellTale games, because they're all played out the same way, where it's more of a decision-based game, where it's not really heavily based on skill, but more on decisions, and your decisions affect the outcome of the story, of the game, who survives, who dies, and overall, it really plays with your conscience. And you can see this play out with the characters, and how they feel guilty, and how they react and adapt over the courses of your decisions, guys. So, that's The Walking Dead: A New Frontier. A great game, a game that can keep you entertained for hours, a game you can play with your friends. And you guys can write your own story, essentially. I mean, not really essentially, because the story kind of has its own ending, but you can write how you get to that ending. Guys, if you've played this game, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. What you thought of The Walking Dead: A New Frontier. What do you think they could have done better? What do you think they hit right on the market? Leave that all below. As always, subscribe to my channel. Check out all my other videos. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.